Good evening, everybody, and welcome. We told you Sports Weekly has been gone for a long time. Unfortunately, I would love to be still doing it, but unfortunately, we can't get coaches and stuff and people that'll come on a regular basis to make it worthwhile. So, but we told you when we stopped that every once in a while, if something important was happening in the city, we'd bring it up and bring it back, and that's what we're doing here today. I've got Rich Avery, who's the head guy at both Frazier Field and Manning Field. He's in charge of keeping it going and running it and keeping it up and keep it in shape. And Scott Dulin from Fisher College, who you see every once in a while. You say, who are those baseball players over there playing during football season? And who are those baseball players in March and April and playing all those baseball games? It's Fisher College. They get a long time ago. Scott, you sat with us and John Cassine and I and said, this place looks pretty good. We'd love to play here instead of going to Haverhill. And I said, John Cassine and I said, well, maybe we could fit you in. When do you play? When he told us, you can be here easy. You're here before the season. And they've been great tenants. They've been here ever since. So it's great to have you on. And we'll start with Scott first because there's a special event coming up over the weekend with Fisher College and a few other schools coming up, Scott.
Yeah, that's right. It's the first ever Roberto Clemente Cup to be played in the mainland, in the States. The Roberto Clemente Cup started in 2016, but the tournaments have always been played in Puerto Rico. So for the first time, we're bringing it here to Lynn. And we're bringing back our old Sunrise Conference members, UMaine Presque Isle, SUNY Canton, and Linden State from Vermont, and ourselves. We're playing in a tournament, but you know, with the Roberto Clemente Cup and the Roberto Clemente legacy goes a little beyond college baseball or baseball itself. You know, that legacy of the humanitarian efforts and the community service efforts and just being good to others is really coming back, and that's what we're bringing together with this Clemente Cup. So it's not just a baseball tournament. We're going to provide a baseball clinic for ages 5 to 12 free. We're partnering with Major League Baseball and the Red Sox Foundation on this, along with the Roberto Clemente Foundation. That will be Friday. That will kick off the weekend. And then the tournaments are on Saturday and Sunday, but throughout the entire time too. Again, going back to that humanitarian effort, part of the Roberto Clemente Foundation, one of their partners is the U.S. Marines and Toys for Tot programs. So we will have a collection drive going on the entire time as well.
Now, he was not only a tremendous defensive baseball player, but just a great person. I mean, when they had the problems in Puerto Rico, he was personally flying in planes with, bringing in food and clothing and everything. So he certainly used the great word humanitarian. That if you look up that word in the dictionary, his name should be next to it.
That's right.
Because he certainly was all of that.
Yes. So. 3.5 years ago, I was in Puerto Rico recruiting, and on my flight home, I ended up sitting next to Luis Clemente, who was Roberto's second son, and him and I started talking about this concept of bringing in the local pro sports teams and bringing in local higher education institutions and college teams, and putting this all together. And within a year, I ended up being asked to be on their board of directors for their family foundation as well. And so things have really taken off, and this is kind of the kickoff to what this Clemente Cup is going to be, and how it's going to be part of a tour that will go around and explain what that legacy of Roberto Clemente is, and giving back to others, and allowing people that may not have the same opportunity as others to have the opportunity to become better in whatever they want to do. Remember, Roberto Clemente really wanted to provide opportunities for any boy or girl, young boy or girl that didn't have the opportunity, whether that was in music, whether dance or art or sports. His dream was to make sure that everyone could say, I had the opportunity to do it.
Rich, Fisher's been a great neighbor and a great tenant, and great to the city of Lynn. They've helped refurbish quite a bit of Frazier Field. They've been great tenants. They've had some, I can recall the playoff teams coming in from Georgia and I don't know, I'm going to
Yeah.
say Texas or Alabama, or
Yeah.
they came in from all over God's creation into Lynn and made Lynn notable, and they bringing this into Lynn and putting Lynn on the map, if you will, because this is going to be seen. I guess Telemundo is going to televise it, and that'll be out. So Lynn is going to be seen on the map, and this is a really big event for the city of Lynn.
It really is. I mean, as you know, both stadiums are used a lot with the high school teams and youth programs, but Scott and Fisher College, they've been what you say model tenants. I mean, he's invested in, not only his baseball program, but the city of Lynn as a whole. So it makes sense to become, great partners together with the city of Lynn and Fisher College to, help the city, help the youth, better the park as a whole, and yeah, it's been a great relationship between the two.
Scott, people don't really realize what Fisher College has meant to the city of Lynn. I mean, we televised early on games because you had a few people from Lynn players that were on the roster, and every place you went, we did the baseball games at Frazier Field. We did the softball games at Breed. We did basketball games at what is now Fect O'Leary, the old classical high school. And now every place you've gone, it's improved. Like Breed softball field has improved with the help of Fisher. Fect O'Leary, the gym at Fect O'Leary, they put a new floor in. They did things thanks to Fisher College. So Fisher College has been an associate of Lynn for several years now, and it's been a well-kept secret.
Yeah.
I remember somebody said to me, "Why is Fisher College's name on the scoreboard out in center field?" I said, "Do you know what they do for the? They did things at the batting cages in back. Cleaned out underneath, helped put money to help put the turf around a little further in the infield and the pitcher's mound, and work was done in the outfield when it had to be drained. A lot of that was money that Fisher contributed. So you've been a great benefactor of the city of Lynn, and it's virtually unknown."
Yeah. Well, I think it goes both ways. I mean, like we met years ago, maybe 8 years ago now, where I explained where the beginning parts of our program. Now our athletics program is in our 18th year from a historical standpoint, only in our 18th year. 7 of them have been spent here in Lynn. Before that, we were all over the place. So we would wake up and know we had a doubleheader that day, but we didn't know where we were playing until later on that day. So when we had this opportunity, you say, "Wow, the city of Lynn really wants us here," and that's from a small institution, small private school in Boston. That's important to know that you're wanted someplace and that you both have the same mutual interest in improving whatever facilities you're using, because it's not just Fisher College that uses this. This is 5 different high schools that go through Frazier Field, and all the state tournaments games that are run there. So you think about the hundreds and hundreds of students that from all different ages that get the benefit from any improvements that we do together. To me, it was a no-brainer when we started this process with John Kasayan and now Rich. We work well together, and everything is always with the same goal, is to make improvements, and how can we do this better and be fiscally responsible while doing it. And at the end of the day, it's what's best. What are we doing for our kids, and what's best for them, and that's what we're trying to do.
Rich, it certainly has been a mutual admiration society. You got in not on the ground floor, but you jumped in when it was going a little bit. But you certainly have hands-on and see what happens down there and see the improvements. And I think I don't know if I'm letting the cat out of the bag if you even want to talk about, but we're talking about maybe possibly having turf in the outfield at some point. Which would make it even easier to play there weather-wise, so you wouldn't have to worry about the mud or anything. But just the turf in the infield going from third to first, and then foul territory with everything but the pitcher's mound. You look and people come in. It's so good for people to come into the city of Lynn and look and go, this must be a special game. We're playing at Fenway Park, or even at Manning Field. Don't you play all your games here? And then you tell them that Tech, English, and classical don't pay a user fee. That where schools are paying a couple of $100, $300 user fees
Right.
for their kids to play sports, they're in awe when they come to Lynn.
Yeah, I think the the city of Lynn, the high school teams, and the youth as a whole are pretty lucky with the facilities that they get to play in. They are top notch. Like I started 3 years ago now, almost 3 years ago now, and I met Scott right away. We formed a pretty good friendship right off the bat. We see each other a lot down the field. The college baseball season. Well, I don't know if it ever stops for him, but I know it starts a lot earlier than the high school season. So we have a little. It's a tricky situation as far as the weather goes to get the outfield in shape for them to play. So talking with Scott, we talk a lot every day. So we came up with the idea of trying to get some funds to finish the turf all the way out through the whole field and eliminate that early season, spring thaw or if a late snowstorm in March that pretty much kills their whole spring season, so to speak. So hopefully if things go the right way, which I think me and Scott, they're going the right way, that we can get the whole stadium turfed, and it just brings a whole nother element to the complex itself as far as being able to serve more youth and all the state tournament games and everything else.
We years ago we used this format to run auctions and raffle off stuff, and I remember I was shocked because middle schools were going to lose their baseball program, and Frank Carey and I ran an auction from this studio. We ran it for 2 or 3 nights. We took in like $8,000 to $10,000 raffling stuff off, and you feel free to use that if you want to use it at any point for anything.
Appreciate
if you
it,
can
yeah.
come in, because people came to the forefront and gave Red Sox tickets, Celtics tickets, Bruins tickets, and tickets for places, inns or places they had in New Hampshire that was near a golf course, and they could give you a place to live, stay there for a weekend, play some golf, and we raffled everything off in auctions and stuff. So put that in your briefcase if you want to
Sure.
use that for anything at all. And come up with something for that. We could gladly do that and help raise some money for that. That would be great for the city of Lynn, and like I said, in this day and age, we could probably raise even more. We could do a few more days, and $10,000 or $15,000 might help along the way.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But it's funny because people look and say Fisher College. It's like if I'm correct, it's on Boston Common.
It's on, yes, right on Beacon Street, right where Beacon and Arlington Street meet. So right next to the public garden.
And they look and they say, Fisher College goes and they travel all over the country, and when you're traveling here and traveling there, and I think you go to Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, and Vermont, and it's nice to come back home and say we have a home here,
Yes.
we have a place here, and you don't have to worry about we're playing here tomorrow, there next week, and over
Exactly.
there and over here, and so it's nice to say you can leave stuff here, but when you come back, it's here.
Yeah, it is great, and it is home. Our guys will be up there on spare time. It's really only 10 miles from door to door, but with traffic, sometimes it takes longer than
feels
others.
like 100.
But our guys get up there as much as they can and view that as their home. They treat it like their home. They take care of it like it's their home. So it's a great experience. Plus the history to Fraser Field. And when Rich and I dug back into the history and the players that have played there, and found some of the old Lynn Sailors jerseys, and I made sure that Harold Reynolds, who's again he's a Clemente Award winner too, Harold Reynolds got a picture of that of one of those old jerseys, and he was fired up about talking about the memories that he had from playing here. And that was, there's been some good players that have come through here.
I've seen most of them because I've been around for a little while. I covered some of them for newspapers, and I was at games when young. I go back to Harry Aganis, and of course Pesky Williams played here, and Bobby Dorr played here, and Roos played here, and You know, I mean, it really is one of those places that, you know, you look and say it really is a monument.
Yeah.
But you've done you and Fisher, you and your group have done a great job. I mean, and it's not, people look and say, well, you know, this was there before, but little things like the protective cage at the dugouts.
Yeah.
So the foul balls don't go into the dugout as easily as they did before. They can still get in there over the top, but they don't, the ground balls don't go in there. And,
Yeah.
you know, and little things like that people look and say, you know, they don't know that Fisher College helped to do that, and Fisher College helped to make sure that the turf was everywhere. And Fisher College helped with the batting cages in the back, and you know, everything that's in there now, and improving the press box and improving the seating, and you know, and the lighting and everything else. You know, so you've been a very good tenant and a very good friend, and it's nice that, and you, as I said, you brought some big time stuff and put Lynn on the map as well as Lynn has put Fisher on the map.
Yeah. You know, we when we were talking about the Clemente Cup and bringing it here, you know, you think about this, we have one of the most iconic families in baseball with the Clementes. You know, that family name is an icon, and coming to Lynn, family members will be here. We'll have former big league ball players hanging around the ballpark this weekend. We have the Red Sox Foundation, who's sponsoring an event that's sponsored by the Major League Baseball. We'll have these people right here for one weekend, and all again to kind of celebrate the game of baseball, celebrate, you know, the Clemente legacy, you know, in this great game. But also, we're going to be doing some good for a lot of other people. So,
and this is a great way for the Clemente family to remember their great family member. You know, I mean, you lose people, you lose relatives, and all of a sudden it never leaves you, but it goes in the back of your head, and you don't think about it on a daily basis. But now you'll see members of the family with a smile on their face, thinking they're celebrating. He's still doing something good. He's still helping people, and people still appreciate what he's doing, and people think well of him. And that makes them feel even better about their lost one.
Yeah, yeah. Again, it is about preserving that legacy and what, you know, what Roberto Clemente the man was, more so than what he was as a baseball player. And the stats speak for themselves, but him as a person and what that has meant to so many people, especially that Latin American community, and what that has done for the doors that have been opened for him in the game of baseball and elsewhere. Because of him, that's such a big thing, especially on our campus where I have about 16 players from Puerto Rico on my team, and they get to play in a tournament named after, you know, someone who is, you know, the hero of that island. So
sure. And Rich, it's a shame that more people don't do that, because back when Roberto was playing, I don't think he was making $30 million a year.
36.
I can remember talking to Johnny Pesky. And Pesky had to get a job during the off season because he was making like $11,000. That was big money back then.
Right.
But you know, now with the money that people are making, they could do this. I mean, they could say, you know, we can do this. We can get behind people. We can help our people, whether it's Irish, Italian, Mexican, Puerto Rican. You know, there's a lot of people that could do this, but they don't. I mean, LeBron James does it, you know, opening schools and doing a lot of things. I'm sure there are a lot of that do it, but there are a lot that don't, that could very easily do it.
Right. When Scott first brought up the whole Clemente Cup thing, you know, knowing I'm a baseball guy, so knowing Roberto Clemente and what he was all about, and you know, the city of Lynn loves to give back to their youth, so to speak. So doing this, it was just a no-brainer. For one, you kick off the baseball season, like the youth baseball season, with a free clinic run by, you know, Fisher College baseball players, the Red Sox Foundation, the Clemente Foundation. And, you know, talking with Scott over the past couple months, there's not a lot of, you know, free youth stuff that's around for them to do. So why not start this? Maybe we can make it big, and maybe we can do a couple more every year and make it big, giving an outlet for a kid who loves baseball that might not get the chance to play, and like he said, with the Toys for Tots and the equipment drive that we're doing, maybe these kids can get some equipment too, and so they can go and play and practice and play the sport that they love.
Yeah, and Scott, there may be somebody out there who may be looking to do something and just don't know how to do it, and all of a sudden they see something like this and they say, wow, I could have done that. And this may just if it kicks one person into doing something good for somebody else, then that one person might kick one other person into it, and who knows, it might start a snowball effect.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of our goal, is to create a better world for our youth and give them opportunities. So this is just one way to do it. But this is what we're capable of doing with what we have. So we have a nice facility. We have some very good friends that are pretty good connections to help do this. So this is what we're capable of doing. So let's give as much as we can to it.
Okay, we've talked quite a bit about this now, but what actually is the schedule for the week? It starts Friday.
So it starts Friday after school, ages 5 to 12. A free clinic for boys and girls we're going to use Frazier Field. We also have Manning Field, and we can accommodate as many students as many children that want to come. We can accommodate them. That'll be a free baseball, softball clinic, again run by the Fisher College baseball team, the Red Sox Foundation. Manny Del Carmen, former Red Sox player, and also the Roberto Clemente Foundation. That's on Friday. On Saturday morning, we start a round robin tournament. We have games at 10, 1, 4, and 7 on Saturday, and then games at 10 and 1 on Sunday, with the consolation game at 4 o'clock on Sunday and the championship game at 7.
So it'll be a packed weekend for the city of Lynn, and we're hoping that hopefully you can get it in time. Get in touch with the Journal today. They can get it in Thursday's paper.
Sure.
And then the item should be pushing this a few times this week to get it out to let people know, and maybe I don't know if we can get in touch with maybe some of the schools. Maybe schools can make announcements that.
We've already sent some stuff over to the schools. We've started a social media kind of a blitz to tell everyone when it was going. The Mayor McGee's been fantastic helping us out with everything.
He's the best.
He is the best. So he's, anything that we've needed, he's had for us available. So he's been a great help. The DPW getting the field ready this week. It's, like I said, it's always touch and go right around now anyway. So trying to hold an event such as this at this time of year is a challenge, but working with the guys from the DPW and the city and everything else, we're gonna pull it off.
Well, let's hope the weather cooperates.
Right.
And I think the weather permit, it's at least sunny, as long as it doesn't rain. We'll get it in, because it hasn't been. The weather's been pretty good. It hasn't been ice cold.
Yeah.
It's been, and hopefully the rest of the publications. Hopefully we helped you a bit doing this, and hopefully the rest of the media will get involved, and that'll help a lot as well, because it's a great thing for the city of Lynn. It's great for the kids. It's great for the people that are going to be helped. Toys for Tots. There's so many people going to be helped by this, and it's a win-win situation, Scott. There's no losers here. I mean, somebody's going to lose a baseball game, but that's going to be the minimum.
Right.
And that'll be the only loss over the weekend. Everything is going to be a plus for everybody that's involved.
Exactly, and that's the plan. That's what this great game is about. Again, using baseball as the kind of the format to do good for others. So.
All right, I'll give you both a minute or two to talk to the people out there and why they should come and what they should be doing and what they're going to see. And
say if you have any Little League age kids that want a free baseball clinic, come on down Friday night to Frazier Field and have some fun. Over the weekend, if you got any old baseball equipment or toys that you want to get rid of to help some underprivileged kid that might need a glove or a helmet or a bat or anything like that, bring it on down to the stadium over the weekend, and we'll get it into the kids' hands that really need it.
Last
Yeah.
word, Scott.
Yeah, I'd say come and enjoy the whole weekend. We have some celebrities that are going to be there, some big names in this game of baseball that'll be around and be accessible. The game should be pretty good. I think it'll be good baseball being played. And again, this is a kickoff to Massachusetts baseball right here. High school season's just started. We're right now this week. And so it's time for the youth to get involved right now, and let's get this great game going again.
So it'll start Friday right after school, the clinic, and all you people out there from Lynn, this is a very big thing for the city of Lynn. They chose the city of Lynn to do this, the first time ever outside of Puerto Rico, here in the city of Lynn. So the city of Lynn should get out and get behind this and show that they deserve this kind of attention. It's great for the city, it's great for the kids, it's going to be great for everybody. And because they chose our city to do this in, we should feel very, very privileged, and we should get behind this and help out. Even if you just drop by the stadium and drop a toy off, or make a contribution, or say hello, help out any way you can. It's for the city of Lynn that they're doing this. Basically, there's a lot of people going to be helped, and again, they chose our city to do this, and that should make us feel pretty good and very proud. And hopefully that means that they'll start it here and they'll continue it here, and people around the area are going to say, if Lynn can do it, anybody else can do it, and we can kickstart it for other cities and make this a very good event and help an awful lot of people and an awful lot of kids. And years from now we can say, yeah, it's very good, but Lynn got it started, and that would be if we get out and get going and make it a success here. So get out there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, enjoy the weekend, help out, bring a toy down, get there and help this great organization and this great family. And the cup, this is going to be played for over the weekend, and you'll see some good baseball as well. So I thank Scott and Rich for being with me. We
Thanks
thank
for
all
having
of
us.
you, and we hope to see many of you over the weekend at Frazier Field. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.